Number 1. Joe Masseria, Giuseppe Joe the Boss. Masseria was one of the first major mafia bosses in New York and a key player in the rise of organized crime in America. An immigrant from Sicily, he rose to power in the 1920s, controlling gambling, extortion, and bootlegging during Prohibition. Known for his greed and old-world thinking, Masseria clashed with younger mobsters like Lucky Luciano, who wanted to modernize the mafia. These tensions sparked the Castellamarese War, a bloody conflict for control of the underworld. In 1931, Masseria was assassinated while dining in a Coney Island restaurant, reportedly set up by Luciano himself. His death marked the fall of the Mustache Pete's, the old guard Sicilian bosses, and paved the way for a more structured, business-like mafia in America. Number 2. Lucky Luciano Charles. Lucky Luciano is considered the father of modern organized crime in the United States. Born in Sicily and raised in New York, Luciano rose through the criminal ranks with a mix of charm, intelligence, and ruthless ambition. He helped end the Castellamarese War by orchestrating the murders of Joe Masseria and Salvatore Maranzano. Luciano then created the mafia's ruling body, the Commission, giving equal power to the 5 New York families and turning the mafia into a national enterprise. He profited from bootlegging, gambling, and prostitution. In 1936, he was convicted on prostitution charges, but continued to influence the mob from prison. During World War II, he allegedly helped the U.S. military secure ports from sabotage. After the war, he was deported to Italy, where he died in 1962. Luciano revolutionized the American underworld and left a lasting legacy. Number 3. Al Capone Alphonse. Al Capone was America's most notorious gangster, ruling Chicago's underworld during Prohibition. Born in Brooklyn to Italian immigrants, he moved to Chicago and became the powerful boss of the Chicago outfit. Through bootlegging, gambling, and bribery, Capone built a criminal empire that earned millions. Known for his charisma and public image, he also had a violent side, linked to brutal acts like the 1929 St. Valentine's Day Massacre, where 7 rivals were gunned down. Despite his many crimes, Capone was ultimately brought down by tax evasion charges in 1931. He was sentenced to 11 years in federal prison, including time in Alcatraz. Released in 1939 due to declining health, Capone spent his final years in seclusion, suffering from advanced syphilis. He died in 1947. Capone remains a symbol of the gangster era and the dark glamour of organized crime. Number 4. John Dillinger. John Dillinger was America's most famous bank robber during the Great Depression and became a media sensation for his daring heists and prison escapes. Leading the so-called Dillinger Gang, he robbed 24 banks and 4 police stations, often outsmarting the law with charm and precision. He once escaped jail using a wooden gun he carved and painted black. Dillinger's exploits made him public enemy number 1 in 1934. His downfall came when the FBI ambushed him outside Chicago's Biograph Theater, tipped off by a woman in a red dress. He was gunned down at age 31. Dillinger remains an enduring figure of American outlaw folklore, a criminal with charisma and cunning, who became a legend in his own time. Number 5. Bonnie Parker, one half of the infamous duo Bonnie and Clyde. was a Depression-era outlaw known for a string of robberies across the American Midwest. Born in Texas, Bonnie was smart and ambitious, writing poetry while dreaming of fame. When she met Clyde Barrow, they fell deeply in love and became partners in crime. Together, they committed armed robberies of banks and stores and killed multiple law officers. Despite their brutal crimes, the couple was glamorized by the media and seen by some as rebellious folk heroes. Their crime spree ended in 1934 when they were ambushed and killed in a hail of bullets by lawmen in Louisiana. Bonnie was only 23 years old. Her image, clutching a pistol and cigar, became iconic in American outlaw lore. Number 6, Machine Gun Kelly. George Machine Gun Kelly was a Prohibition-era gangster best known for bootlegging, bank robbery, and a high-profile kidnapping. Born in Memphis, Kelly earned his nickname from his weapon of choice, the Thompson submachine gun. In 1933, he kidnapped wealthy oilman Charles Burchell, holding him for ransom. The crime backfired when the FBI tracked him down using serial numbers from the ransom bills. Arrested in Memphis, Kelly famously yelled, "Don't shoot G-men," a phrase that became part of FBI legend. He was sentenced to life in prison and spent 21 years behind bars, most of them in Alcatraz. Once feared, Kelly became a model prisoner and faded into obscurity. He died in 1954. Number 7, Ma Barker Kate. Ma Barker gained fame as the matriarch of a ruthless gang of criminals, her own sons. Though some say her role was exaggerated, the FBI portrayed her as the mastermind behind a wave of kidnappings, robberies, and murders across the Midwest. The Barker Karpus gang was especially active in the 1930s and included criminals like Alvin Karpus, public enemy number 1. First, Ma was fiercely loyal to her sons and stayed with them on the run. In 1935, the FBI surrounded a Florida safe house where Ma and her son Fred were hiding. After a 4-hour shootout, both were killed. Her death sparked controversy. Was she a criminal genius or just a mother caught in her son's crimes? Either way, her legend lives on in American crime history. Number 8, Babyface Nelson Lester. Babyface. Nelson was a brutal and unpredictable bank robber with a deceptively innocent look that earned him his nickname. A key figure during the 1930s gangster era, Nelson worked with John Dillinger and became known for his violent nature. He reportedly killed more FBI agents than any other criminal of his time. His most infamous moment came in 1934 during the Battle of Barrington, where he killed 2 FBI agents in a gunfight before dying from his own wounds. Nelson was just 25. Unlike Dillinger or Bonnie and Clyde, Nelson wasn't seen as charming. He was feared, even among other outlaws. His short life was marked by violence, chaos, and a reputation as one of the most dangerous gangsters of the era. Number 9, Bugsy Siegel Benjamin. Bugsy Siegel was a flashy, charismatic mobster and a founding member of the infamous Murder, Inc. He began as a hitman in New York, but became famous for his vision of turning Las Vegas into a gambling mecca. Siegel helped expand the mafia's influence into the West Coast and was deeply involved in Hollywood social circles. In the 1940s, he spearheaded the development of the Flamingo Hotel in Las Vegas, a bold and expensive project meant to attract high-end gamblers. But when the project ran over budget, mob bosses suspected he was skimming money. In 1947, Siegel was shot through the window of his girlfriend's home in Beverly Hills. His dream of Vegas lived on, but he didn't live to see it flourish. Number 10, Pretty Boy Floyd Charles. Pretty Boy Floyd was a Depression-era bank robber celebrated in the press for allegedly helping poor people during his heists. Born in Georgia, he became known for robbing banks with speed and violence, often destroying mortgage documents to free debtors. Whether that part is true or myth, Floyd gained a Robin Hood-like image. He was implicated in numerous robberies and murders, including the infamous Kansas City Massacre in 1933, after being named Public Enemy Number 1. One following Dillinger's death, Floyd was hunted down by the FBI. He was shot and killed in a cornfield in Ohio in 1934. To some, he was a ruthless killer. To others, a folk hero who struck back at a broken system.